Hello guys, welcome to Selenium Webdriver tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the locators in Selenium Webdriver. So if we see the previous, program that we have written to basically launch a browser, which is source demo website, and then pass on certain, text in the text field. So here, if you see the standard user and password, we passed on these fields into the text field of username and password, which we identified by certain things like ID, name, etc. So usually if you'll open a website, if you're doing a manual testing, what you will do is you will first identify the elements. If, for example, you want to log in you want to do a login test, so you'll go to the username, click on the username field, type in some username, whatever the username is, right? Then you will type in the password, and then you will click on the login button to log in on this particular website. And similarly, if there are other test cases, you will be basically interacting with the web elements on this page. So anything that you interact with, you type in the text, or you click on the button, or there is a link on a page, all these are sort of elements. And if because these are present on the web page, they are known as web elements. So to identify these web elements, Selenium provides 8 basic locator strategies, and that's what we are going to discuss in this tutorial. There are more locator strategies that have been added in Selenium version 4, which is still in, this version is still not released, but I'll cover those new locators as well in the next tutorial. So let's understand these 8 basic locators, because these are sort of core to basically go ahead and identify these web elements if you want to actually write your test cases. And identifying these web elements is becomes some challenging most of the time, and to know how you will be able to identify is the key thing in Selenium automation. So if we go to the website of selenium.dev, and here you'll see in the getting started with WebDriver, you'll see locating elements, right? So these are the 8 different built-in element locator strategies, location strategies. Now you can write your own locator strategies as well if you have good in-depth knowledge of Java. You can extend this functionality and write your own locator as well, but most of the time for testers, this is good enough, and there are different strategies that you can utilize to find the web elements. So if we see the locator, so class name, so it locates the elements with the class name contains, right? So whatever the class name value will be, you can locate the element based on that. Then CSS selector, XPath, ID and name are the very common common ones. If your element has the attributes ID and name, we most of the time use these two. Otherwise we'll go to either CSS selector or XPath. Then link text is very simple. So for example, with this, say this is the link, so the text that is displayed, so third-party drivers and plugins, is the text that is being displayed. So link text, if you specify this text with this locator, it will click on this particular web element. Then partial link text is basically the partial part of the link, so you can just say third-party drivers, and if that's unique partial link text on the page, it will find out and click on that. Then there is tag name and XPath. Okay, so let's open the browser, or this is the test website. So most of the browsers will provide you the functionality to inspect the web element, right? So this web page is basically the HTML code. Okay, and if you just right click, so this is the Chrome browser, if you just right click and click on inspect for this particular web element, it will highlight the code that is relevant to this particular web element. So this is basically, this input is your tag. Okay, this is the tag name. Then all these are the attributes of this web element, so like type, class, data test, ID, placeholder, right? So these are all your attributes of this particular username field. So here you will see that we have the ID available, so we can use ID as a locator. Okay, so if we want to use ID as a locator, what we'll do is, let me copy this particular code, and I'll just paste it here and rename it to locators. Okay, so we can see all these locators in action. Okay, let me close this, and here I'll keep everything as is, and I'll just remove all other sections. And here if you see, I'm just launching this particular website, and then we'll understand the locator. So now on this particular line, what we are doing is we are using this class find element. So if you say driver.find element, let me comment that out and write it again. So driver.find element, and then you will see this class, and then by. So by is also a class. We'll have a look in the documentation. So if you say by, and then you can specify the ID or you know, the class link text name. So here you can see these are the you know, methods that are available in this class, the by class. So let's see that. So if you open the documentation for the Selenium WebDriver and just try to find out by, okay, and here we'll see that this is the class by, and then these are the subclasses. So you can find the element by class name, CSS selector. So these are all subclasses. If we go to this subclass, you will see the methods in this subclass. So these are the inherited methods. So by ID, by link text, by name. Okay, so these are all the inherited methods. So that's how you will navigate through the Java docs and understand more details about all these classes and methods. So if we say by dot ID, okay, and then simply in the braces you just provide the ID that you have found here, right? So what is the ID? ID is the username. All right, so we'll simply paste the ID here, and then we'll say dot send keys. Okay, so you can directly use the method send keys and enter some text. So you'll type some text. So we'll just say testing. Okay, and if you'll run this code now, let me save it and run it. It should be able to find this particular username and send the text testing in that particular text box. Let's run and see the results. So it will launch the browser. It's running on Edge at the moment. So you can see that it has typed in testing in the text box, and it has identified this particular text box with the ID. Similarly, if you want to use some other locator, say for example, you want to use name, you just simply name it, change it to name. Okay, and in your field, you simply verify whether there is a name attribute or not. There is no name attribute here, right? So you cannot use name attribute for this particular field because there is no name attribute present. Okay, so there is a possibility that you might get some attributes present, and it depends how the developer has developed these web elements, what attributes he has provided. So it all depends basically what is available. If you are not able to find ID and attribute, you fall back to some other locators. So here we can't find name, so we won't be using name. Now the third one is class name and CSS selector. So we'll first cover the class name and then we'll cover the CSS selector. So if we go back to this website, so if you just right click and inspect, and it will highlight that web element. So here we have the class name, right? So we have the class, the name is form input. So we can use this class name to identify the web element. Let me remove it, cancel it. So let me copy this class name, and if you look closely, the class name form input is you know, duplicate here, right? So it is available at two places. So what WebDriver will do is it will find the first element and interact with that. So whatever the first web element is found with that particular locator, it will basically interact with that. It's not a good practice though to use the locators which are duplicate on the page. So you should always try to find out the unique locator for the web element, which will be really helpful in future scenarios or in advanced scenarios. But to demo the class example, I'll simply copy that, and here instead of instead of this ID or name, you can simply say by.className, okay, and provide the class name that we have copied from there and remove this part from here. Okay, so let me save and run it and see this in execution. So it will launch the browser and it will type in the text testing into the first field. Okay, so that's how you will identify the web element by the class name. The next one was the CSS selector. Okay, so to find CSS selector on the browser, you simply just right click on the web element. So if you just right click and click on inspect, it will highlight that code. If you right click on the code and click on copy and go to copy selector, it will copy the CSS selector for you. So this is available in Chrome and also in Firefox. So you can go to the developer tool and just right click and copy the CSS selector and XPath. This is not advisable because in most of the cases you will be required to write the complex XPath and you won't be able to easily find the XPath. So in those sort of scenarios you have to use the XPath and CSS locator, advanced locator strategies to find those. I have created a separate tutorial series for XPath and CSS selector, totally dedicated for finding the advanced CSS selector and XPath. So you can refer to that if you want to learn more about the locators. So I've copied the CSS selector. To use it, it's very simple. So you simply change it to CSS selector and copy the CSS selector that we have got from the browser. Okay, so this is the CSS selector, and now with this CSS selector it will send keys to that particular web element if we run it. Now the next one is basically, so we have covered class name, CSS selector, ID, name. So link text and partial link text we'll cover later. Now the next one is the tag name and XPath. So XPath is similar to CSS selector. You can copy the XPath in a similar way. So just right click on the code, click on copy and copy XPath. And in your locator, you simply change the locator to by XPath and paste the XPath expression, right? And I'll remove this part here. Okay, so now you can identify your web element by XPath. And the next one is by tag name. So if you go to this particular locator, this input is your tag name, right? So any of these like div, body, and within that div you see this h4. So all these are the tag name, and you can identify your web element based on the tag name as well. So for example, I want to identify username based on this input tag. Okay, so if I'll specify the tag name as input, it will find out the first tag which has the name, which has the tag name as input, and interact with that. So I can simply copy this, and in our code we can simply change it to by dot tag name and paste the tag that we have copied, and I'll remove this XPath. Okay, so if you'll run this code, let me save it and run it, then it will perform the same action. It will print, or it will type testing into the username field, right? So you can see, yes, it has typed in the testing into the username field. Let me close this and cancel this. So now if we go through the list, so we have covered tag name, XPath, name, ID, CSS selector, and class name. Now link text and partial link text. If you see that this link text, what it does is it locates anchor elements whose visible text matches the search value. Okay, so what are the anchor elements? Okay, so for the first thing is, let's understand what are anchor elements. So for example, if I go to this, let me go to this website. Okay, so here if I just right click on this quick tour link and click on inspect, you will see that this A is basically, this is the tag, right? So these any link that that you have on the HTML page is an anchor link. It's an anchor tag. Okay, and then you have link within that tag. So if on this particular page I want to click on quick tour, I can simply say link text as quick tour, and then it will click on this particular link. Okay, so let's do that from our code. Okay, so I'll simply copy this location, and instead of opening source.demo, I'll open the Selenium dev page. And what we'll do here is we'll simply identify the element by link text, right? So we'll say link text, and what is the link text that we are interested in? So we are interested in quick tour, right? So we'll simply inspect that web element, and we'll copy this visible text which is quick tour. Okay, copy it and we'll paste that. So let's remove all these extra things here, and then what we want to do is we just want to click on that quick tour and then dot click. All right, so we are opening the Selenium website and then clicking on the link which has visible text as quick tour. Okay, let's save it and see if it runs successfully. So it will open Selenium dev website in the Chrome browser, and it should click on quick tour link. So it opened and it clicked on quick tour, right? Because it found that particular visible text quick tour, and it clicked on that. Okay, similarly partial link text, so we'll simply change it to partial. So we'll say partial link text, and instead of full text, what we'll say is we'll just specify the partial. Okay, so we'll just say quick. Okay, let's see if it is able to find with this partial text, and run this test again. And if this is, so it should be, yeah, so it clicked on the quick tour again with this partial text. We just provided partial text which is quick in our partial link text, and then it clicked on that particular link. Okay, so this is all about the locators that are available. So these are the basic 8 element locator strategies that we have covered very quickly and briefly. Now if you want to get into more details of the CSS selector and XPath, because these are the 2 locators which will help you to identify a lot of complex XPaths and CSS selector and dynamic web elements. So for example, every time you refresh the page, the element the locator for that web element changes, or the ID changes, it's dynamic. Then those sort of scenarios, you have to write the dynamic complex XPaths and CSS selector to identify those web elements. So if you want to get more details and learn more details for those, I have created the tutorial which is included as part of this series as well, so you can go through that and learn more about those. But these are the basic 8 locator strategies. There are relative locators in Selenium 4, so they are the new, these are previously called as friendly locators. So the Selenium 4 is bringing relative locators, and these locators we'll cover in the next tutorial. So that's pretty much all about the locators in Selenium Webdriver. Hope you liked the tutorial. Thank you very much for watching.